Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. I thought I'd go on and kind of put my thoughts up on Ready to Love. Last night's episode, I watched it better late than never. And of course, they were still at the retreat and they continued where they left off last week with eliminating one of the guys, and it was between Paul and Tori. And so they decided to eliminate Tori, which Tori could have went home what the past 2 or 3 weeks. To be honest, he could have gone home after the Truth or Dare game, right? But I digress. And so they pick up back at that point, and he said that he was just going to smile and leave it that way. Um, and so I don't know. I thought this was the last. They're dragging it now. It feels like they're dragging it because you kind of know how it's going to end, and there's nothing to it, right? The show is boring at this point. Because personally, I don't care about the third couple. I feel like um, anybody beyond Joy and Cliff, just from the way that they have at least maintained their attraction for each other. At least that's what they're telling us. Because we understand this is a TV show, right? So they're the only ones to me that really have maintained that. And people are still saying that they're unsure and they don't know what they want to do. And so I just kind of feel like I'm not really into it at this point. And I feel like they're dragging it by even bringing this family stuff back into anything. I don't think that any of these people need to meet anybody's family when they don't even know if they even like these people. Carmen is letting Dakiya and the rest of the cast know that Paul was saying all this stuff about her and he's not really physically attracted to her. However, we heard him saying the opposite, right? So this is when you know it's a TV show and it's just silliness at this point. Why would Dakiya feel any kind of way about anything Paul says? Because she's just trying to stay there just for to stay there herself. He wasn't her first option. He wasn't even an option until we got to this point, right? Right. And so it really makes no sense. And then I guess Carmen and Donovan are going to now have some connection, which he claims was already always there, yet he expressed all this interest in Sabrina. But I guess Sabrina has said some things to rub him the wrong way. And so at this point, Sabrina can kind of, weed these guys out, right? And that's kind of what she's doing. And this show is coming down to this is about Sabrina, right? That's how it feels. And so she can kind of say it how she means it at this point. Obviously, Donovan was like a runner up. Tori thought he was a runner up for whatever reason. He wanted to believe that in his mind. And I guess Donovan thought he was one. And so now she's kind of letting him know there's some things that she's not real sure about. So he felt a way about her saying that and said some things back to her about seeing her feeding Demetrius. And I mean, to me, like I said, keep saying in the past 2 or 3 videos, after you guys saw that Truth or Dare game, I don't know why anybody's pretending like they don't know who these people's first options were because they kind of made it clear. So, you think your game is that tight? I mean, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I was just kind of lost about all of that. And then Christina had already said a couple weeks ago, at least a week or so ago, that she was going to leave. And so we already knew that she was going to self eliminate. And, according to her, I think I put the clip up already. She was online this morning, and for whatever reason, she kind of cut the clip up. But she was saying, answering questions, and she was saying that it wasn't her, it was pretty much production who was making it look as if she wasn't there because she already had dropped out of the show. And so I guess they were kind of writing it how they wanted the story to go to make it make sense, I guess, for the TV show of it all. That she just was too busy kind of to make the trip when she really just didn't want to do it anymore. She recognized that she didn't really have any strong connections. And it just never made sense to me, even all the way going back. And even though Wiley was saying, he has no issue with what she was doing because she was just trying to see if she had other options there, with her coming in so late. I feel like she should have kind of made Wiley more of a number one option. And that's just my opinion. And kind of spoke up for him to stay there and let some of these other people go because the connections were not, I just didn't see it in any way. Like, I don't see any of this other stuff either. Even this Sabrina and Demetrius thing, I don't believe it. I just don't. I think everything at this point is really for the show. And however the production want to tell the story. And that's kind of what we're going to see play out. Their families are supposed to come in. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I think that we already know pretty much who the three couples are probably going to be. And I think I said that in the last video. Either Carmen was going to all of a sudden create some love affair with Paul or with Donovan, because that's who's left for her to do that with. And I felt like Dakiya was going to be on the outside of all of that. I think that a lot of this was very cliquish, and it started to show to me probably when they did the whole thing with Ace and Laverne. You could tell it was definitely kicking into TV mode of them scripting out how they want the show to end and who they want down at the bottom. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to create some fake commentary for nobody. I'm sorry. I'm not following it the way that they probably want people to pretend like you see certain things and people are having real issues. I mean, you can kind of see through all of this to me. And with Christina saying she has nothing against production, but that really wasn't her. She was there. She's saying that she was there at the getaway. She was upstairs, and then they made her come down at that last minute because they wanted to make it look like she wasn't really productive in trying to get to know these guys because she was busy, right? And so now we're at that point. Paul had a whole lot to say. Let me play a little bit of that, and you guys can tell me how you feel about it in the comments.
Well, so awkward. Yeah.
MailChimp's customer journey builder has helped business.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Weird.
That's a word. That's a word. That's a word.
Where you been at? Because I heard you had car trouble. I was like, well, maybe she's coming from Alaska or somewhere. Yeah. You had to take a ship and come. Listen, I really do feel like I missed everything. You did. I know.
It's definitely something that happened.
Oh, really? I missed a lot.
Yeah.
So for a while.
With Tina, I thought our connection was great. We had been talking back and forth. I thought she was going to show up, and then I don't hear from her. So now to see her, I'm confused, and I'm just kind of wondering why. Why are you show up now? Why do you show up at the 11th hour? Like, what is going on?
It just, maybe I felt it was best to,
We're on our way out the door, and here you are.
I don't know if I can be open about where my headspace is. I really want to say how I feel right now. It's so hard.
I know it's so weird being here now. I feel like in this journey, I just had to be real with myself and just figure out, are my connections strong enough?
I mean, but this was that opportunity.
It was. And unfortunately, life happened. I think it was just more of me trying to figure out, what were my bonds. And I don't think my bonds were strong enough with the guys here. I think.
I'm going to be honest with you right now. You were not understanding with the guys.
And that's fine. It's nothing wrong with that. No one spoke to me.
I haven't had a chance to, though. This was that opportunity. Do you want to be there?
So, yeah. So she said that she just kind of had to play along with everything because they already knew that she wanted out. And she was saying in her real life, she just had things to do, and it just wasn't worth it for her to keep pretending like she had something going with any of these guys. Um, it's kind of hard to even call Donovan, and if he, because then he goes on to play up the whole Carmen thing. So, it's hard to call if he really was concerned about her being there, if he really wanted her to be there, and he didn't express that way. So, it's just hard to know. But I don't know. And I just feel for Dakiya. I really feel like she should probably exit as well. Maybe these people are the producers are just trying to keep some people there just to keep them there. But it's not a good look because the connections, they're not there, right? And I don't know why she was holding on to the Clifton thing. Only she can explain that. And I guess when the show is over, she will. It looks really weird that she is watching his relationship with Joy play out, and as if she didn't already know this ahead of time, right? So, and then the whole Paul thing clearly is not going well as well. But they're either gonna play the game or they're not. And just I don't know. I think Paul should leave too. Like, why are these people there? That's how I feel. That's what I'm watching. I'm a little like just weirded by the fact that people are staying there knowing that they don't have connections. And these connections are not just going to pop out within the next episode, right? I don't think. I think that Sabrina is going to stick it out with Demetrius regardless of whatever, because this is really about her getting to the bottom and Joy. I think Joy and Clifton kind of were more willing to just do enough with everybody else while they still show that there was a connection between them. So, um, yeah. And then what else? Oh yeah, I think I say something about that already. Carmen and Dakiya going back and forth over what she claims Paul said about her, about Dakiya. I thought that was kind of rude. But I guess we understand this is a show, so this is about elimination at this point. Because if nephew Tommy is saying to them that it's going to be three couples, then one of these couples, Donovan and Carmen, or Paul and Dakiya, are going to have to get eliminated. So I guess if she put Dakiya under this impression that Paul really don't like you like that, and say that out loud, then now it has Dakiya feeling some kind of way, and maybe she will self-eliminate, right? And then that would then ultimately lead Paul to self-eliminate at that point. And so maybe that's the strategy, and maybe that's just the way they wrote it for her to go on there and do that, because it was kind of rude for her to do that. And I was tickled because I was like, I'm gonna start laughing if the kid tell her some stuff Paul said about her, because I'm sure Paul is probably saying a whole bunch of stuff.
Sometimes when I ask him, I'd be like, "You went on with so and so."
Oh, I was gonna play it.
Here are 3 reasons why Novo.
But yeah, and so I was just like, okay, so what is that supposed to do? But then I think it's just more about elimination.
He's questioning my integrity. Do you think I'm really going to waste my time on a conversation with you or anybody else if I really didn't want to find love? It's not me being nosy. I just would rather you say, "Hey, I had a good day with Joy," or Dakiya. Okay, cool. If I go out with Donovan, I'm going to say, "Hey, I had a good date with Donovan." Also, he said he had a date. I guess it was Dakiya. I said, "How did that go?" And he was like, "Ugh." I'm like, "Something went wrong." He was like, "Eh."
So he said, eh?
Like it wasn't pleasant.
He just told me he had a great day. Can I interject? Just
Well, actually, I'm talking. Let me bring some more receipts. He was like, "Jesus Christ. I need to be with a certain woman that looks a certain way." Yes, you said it. I don't want to think about how to get aroused.
And he's talking about Miss Dakiya?
He said certain people were that type of woman. When he over here now, I'm trying to keep the face like, what? Huh?
Well, I didn't say that.
Now, Paul is not giving Morris Chestnut for him to be out here talking about nobody's looks, number one. And so I don't know. Maybe he said it, maybe he did not. I don't know. Um, maybe he said that to her, wanting her to kind of lean his way. And I'm speaking of Carmen. And now she's kind of putting him out there after he, had to do all this stuff to gaslight her. So I don't know. It's just silly to me. It was kind of boring. And then when nephew Tommy did the whole thing about he was trying to set up a meetup with Christina. Like Christina is saying, they already knew I was leaving the show. Um, so there was really nothing for them to have a meetup about. And then if she's busy, and if she's saying that was half the reason that she was leaving the show, then you should expect her to have emergency situations or whatever come up. Maybe she couldn't make it. But I almost feel like that was just for more to try to add drama to the show. Because why would you need to meet up with her? She was kind of making it clear, even when she was talking to Donovan, that she don't have connections here. Not Donovan, yeah, Donovan, and I think she was talking to Carmen as well. So they kind of knew that she wasn't gonna stay there. Like, why would she stay there if she's not feeling whoever she was supposed to be connecting with? I guess it was Paul and Donovan. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I think for me, I just see the three couples because of the cliquish type behavior that kind of is peeking through. I think it's going to be Carmen, Sabrina, and Joy, and then Clifton, Donovan, and Demetrius at the end. And I think it's been kind of obvious it was going to be a mixture that way for the last two episodes. It was either going to be Paul or Donovan. And I think I said that in my last video. I didn't know who Carmen was going to flip into some type of relationship with. But let me know what you guys thought about last night episode as far as her revealing that Paul said certain things about Dakiya's looks and all this stuff during this meeting. Um, I don't know. And then with Dakiya hearing all this, why would she even want to stay there? But I guess we'll have to see how that play out next week if she's not eliminated, since the elimination is back on the women anyway. But since this is kind of the end of the show, I'm assuming they're gonna do the whole bottom to the bottom thing, right? And maybe he's gonna try to do it with four couples. I think they did that last season. They kept the four couples. It's really on. I'm on yawn, to be honest. I'm ready for the reunion, to be really just to get to the reunion, because Precious said that there were some things that were going to happen at the reunion. She's not sure. I don't know if she's sure or not if they're going to air them, because sometimes OWN may make the decision not to air certain things. So I'm kind of ready just to get to the reunion. That's how I feel about it. You guys can let me know how you feel about the episode from last night, and if you watched the clip that I put up where Christina was explaining why she left the show. And like I said, she explained that she left the show almost 2 weeks ago in her interview with Carmisha. And I think she's interviewed with Little Black Book as well. I did not watch her interview with him, but I know that I think there's an interview up between them over there as well. And so she's probably discussing it over there as well. So it kind of wasn't a surprise, right? So it wasn't like we were seeing anything that we didn't know was going to happen in respects to her. Um, Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Paul and Dakiya are just staying there because they are going to try to be that fourth couple down at the end? Because I think last season they had four couples as well. It's just that Sabrina kind of left. What's his name? I forgot him down at the wherever they met up at the end. So, child, I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the way the show is going to end? Do you think that Paul and Dakiya are going to pretend like there's some type of match, or do you think that they're gonna episode we're gonna see them exit, as we should? I think that we should see Donovan and Carmen exit as well. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But otherwise they will probably turn out to be that third couple. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think will stay? Who do you think is going? And I will see you guys in the next video.